What up? What up? Welcome to Vibe Coding Semi Live. I am working on a website here. This is going to be a website to democratize ESG. ESG means environmental sustainability and governance. A lot of organizations exist to basically cherry pick companies and funds that meet certain criteria. Just to give an example, this is a fund that Vanguard provides, which excludes oil companies and military companies and a few other things they deem to be not ethical. But what if you have a different idea of what's ethical? Maybe you have a more stringent idea. Maybe you even have an idea informed by religion. Or maybe you're a socialist and you really don't want anyone who does business with Israel or something of that nature. I want to create a website where anyone can contribute to ESG research. In fact, I want it to take into account even the most aggressive ideas of what an ethical company is. I want to make this accessible. So this is what I have. 100% vibe coded. No shame. Making this with Versal because this is a really cool service that will automatically deploy as soon as I push to my GitHub repo. And it has a lot of cool features like built-in database services, logs, and things. And hey, I don't have to give money to Jeff Bezos and use AWS. And I am using Builder.io to help edit the front end. It has a Figma interface, what you see is what you get interface, but also has an AI assistant, which is mostly what I'm using. Anyway, let's see if I can show that. Builder.io. Let me log in. So I have projects. This is my only one. And I'm not paying anything for either of these right now. I'm using their free free tier or whatever they call it for Versal and also for Builder.io. So they're giving away this for free. I'm gonna give away some information for free. So yeah, this is basically a chat. This is where I vibe code everything. 2025 is wild. So anytime I type, mostly just saying, hey, that's not working, I get this error, it's going to go ahead and fix it for me, and it's going to give me the option in the top right to push my code. Right now, the issue I'm seeing, if I go back to Versal, is that the companies don't load. I just finished seeding my database, and there should be this API should return a list of companies. And what's it complaining about here? By the way, I had to tell the AI to make sure to include logs. Otherwise, the AI itself will have a harder time figuring out the error if there's no logs to look at. But moving on, since I did get some of the logs in here, cannot read properties of undefined connection string. Okay. So I'm just gonna give it this error. I could go into my code and see what does it mean. First of all, I'm not showing you guys my code if you thought I was. But let's see what AI does. I'm still deciding how I want to structure this if I actually follow through, which I usually don't follow through with my personal projects, but I don't know if I want to profit from this or make it non-profit, maybe a co-op. Definitely don't want it to be hard to use or expensive for anybody. Cool. So AI is trying to find out what's causing this error. It's found matches for connection string. Okay. It's changing some things, as you can see. Connection string. Huh. It's changing the way it sets up the connection. Okay. You know, if it works, it works. All right. Let's deploy that. And that got published to my GitHub, which is also connected. It's connected to my Builder IO, and it's also connected to Versal here. And it's gonna auto deploy. We don't like any manual actions. So because it pushed it deployed, if I go to the deployments tab, it's building now. And while that builds, you know, I can show you the design features of of Builder IO. You can edit things here. I think this is how I may have changed the logo, or honestly, I use AI for everything. I don't even need to touch this, but if I wanted to, I could move things around like that. Got a lot of things that can change here. You know, change the text of things. Yeah, you can directly change CSS properties. I like that as a developer. So it looks pretty, you know, with this CSS properties, you can do a lot. You know, change the color when you mouse over, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. All right, so this is deployed. Let's take a look. Well, you just click visit and it'll load up the Versal hosted website. Oh, wow. Fixed it on the first try. That's pretty cool. So, folks, that was my little intro. Let's see if anybody watches this. Maybe I'll make more.